Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story, Climbing with Cliftonville, with me, Daniel. We're building a nation in Northern Ireland and trying to take Cliftonville to the top of the domestic ladder, and then of course take Northern Ireland a bit higher up in Europe. And today is a crucial day in that regard. We're underdogs as we head into the first qualifying round of the Europa League, the stage at which we were put out in the first season. And we're playing against the Swedes, who are a little bit better than us, a bigger reputation and a slightly better squad. But we've got a few new signings who are fit and eligible to play today. So we're kind of hoping we can get on the front foot and perhaps cause a little shock. If we can keep ourselves in it in the away leg and get into the home leg and hopefully be in form and have a chance to get through and cause an almighty shockwave as we try and progress in Europe. So hopefully you're looking forward to all of that. Firstly though, if you did miss the last episode, part 10, please do go back and catch up in the eye above. We had our transfer special, all of the new signings that you're going to meet today. A lot of them will be making their debut in this first leg. And of course there's a big turnaround, as in Northern Ireland we're trying to improve this squad heavily each summer. So I really would encourage you to check that one out. But if you're already up to date and looking forward to this episode, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM20 content with our weekly live streams every Tuesday as well. But today is all about European football, so let's go and crack into it. We've already played the preliminary round off camera, which we won 9-0 on aggregate, and that was without a few of the new signings. So today I'm hoping with the best 11, hopefully playing at their best, we can maybe just cause a little shock. The finances are looking good after that last win. There's still a few deals we'd like to do, but for now we've got a strong squad, much stronger than last year, and we'd like to really step forward and try and do something special. So there's a few other British teams in action. Bala from Wales, they got through in the preliminary. I think Ballymena are still here as well. Let me go and have a look. Ballymena are going to Kosovo, so they've got a much easier tie than us actually. Ballymena are favourites. So I'm kind of hoping for our sake in Northern Ireland, for building the nation, that they get through as well. Cardiff Met Uni are there from Wales too. Hibernian from Scotland, there's a lot of teams to keep an eye out for. But let's go and get into this one. We are heavy underdogs as you'd expect. And this is the 11 and slight tactical change we've gone for. So we've got our new right winger signing. He's a good 4-star player, joint best in the squad on star rating. So we couldn't leave him out. He's moving forward on the right wing and he's an inside forward on attack. And you can already see we've got a much stronger squad. So the likes of Chris Curran, who started last year, and Thomas Stewart up front, and Craig Story as well, all on the bench this time round. Ryan Curran, previously a substitute, now out of the squad entirely. And this is the 11 it leaves us with. Still a slight weakness at left back, and otherwise a pretty good squad. So Ben Anick in goal, not available for last year's qualifiers. A big upgrade on Richard Brush, which we managed during last season. We've got Conor McDermott continuing at right back. Johnson alongside Shotton at centre half. Johnson replacing Alex Bruce from last year. And Ives is still there at left back for now, though we do have a pre-agreed signing for January. Galbraith in the middle alongside returning loanee Toby Edser. That's what drops Craig Story to the bench. McCanday in as an inside forward on the right wing. That's of course replacing Chris Curran. McMenamin stays on the left, but McCrudden is available if needed. And Neil Austin in up front for Thomas Stewart alongside Joe Gormley, the ever dependable poacher. So that is our 11 for today. The tactics not really that different. We've got McDermott overlapping the inside forward, but we've got a right winger a bit further up of course, and Galbraith is a central midfielder on automatic rather than a box-to-box midfielder. But everything else remains the same, so let's just go and get into it. Can we cause a European shock as we head away to Sweden? Squad numbers allocated and first game on the way. I'm not sure how many real players they've got, so we'll go and have a look in a moment. But a really good team. We know about Curtis Edwards, of course, the British midfielder, a really good player. Is there anyone else in that squad that we've got to keep an eye out for? No, so the rest are all generated players. So that explains the high squad numbers that we weren't quite aware of before. But otherwise, a pretty conservative formation for them. Something we see quite often in Europe, the 4-3-3, but with that holding midfielder in place instead. So it's going to be an interesting test for us. We're playing the 4-2-4 of course, but a little more balanced in terms of our mentality. And we're going to try and cause an upset as underdogs. As Patrick McAllister encourages the lads, let's go and get into the first half. If we can stay in the tie after this leg, I'll be very happy. As Hibs have taken the lead early on. As of Bohemians, the Irish side, there's loads of goals flying in everywhere actually. And it's now a corner for the home team. Into the front post and we're 1-0 down. And to concede from a set piece is so frustrating. all of the hard work we do to compete on the day, and then to concede a silly goal from a corner after being a match for the opponents in the first 10 minutes. It's so disappointing. We're 1-0 down and we've got to be careful to keep this lead slender. 5 minutes to the break, still just the 1-0, no further highlights, but Edwards in. Oh, not again. 2 goals from set pieces. That's absolutely awful. We've been a match for them all day as Ballymena take the lead in their tie. Oh, I don't understand. Why are we throwing it away? 2 set pieces the difference in otherwise what is a pretty even game in terms of the stats. We've had less possession, of course, because we play more directly. But we've actually been a match for our opponents, and the only thing that stopped us is the fact that we've conceded 2 silly goals from set pieces, giving away free headers, losing discipline when marking, and at this level, that can be the difference. 10 minutes gone in the second half, still 2-0, and we're going to need a big turnaround as they've scored a free kick right in the top corner. 3 goals from set pieces, and again, to be fair to that guy, he is far better than any of our team. But 3 set pieces, 3 goals now, and it is 3-0. We're basically out before the second leg, and this is a similar story to Hapoel Beersheva. Silly goals costing us the game. A few lads looking anxious, we're going to demand more, and it has changed nothing. That's really scary. So Daly on for Makande on his debut, nowhere near match fit of course. Galbraith in the same position but having a better game. Don't know if we bring on a ball winner. I think we have to take off those who are unfit. So Galbraith will be replaced by Craig Story. We'll go back to last year's tactic, I think. Or is he quite confident in there? We'll put him on defensive duty. Nathan Austin will be replaced by Thomas Stewart. And at this point, we're just trying to nick an away goal. It's 3-0. If we can make it 3-1, we've got a slight hope. I miss Motherwell in action as well. They're 3-1 up away from home. What's the Ballymena score? Is it still 1-0? We'll probably need to go and have a look at that in a second. As I throws into Thomas Stewart. To McMenamin. An away goal would be the difference here. Noah Daly up against the fullback. Into the box. Beats one. And it's shot straight at the keeper. And unfortunately, it remains 3-0 on the night. Let's get down to that Ballymena result. Doesn't look like it wants to work. Technical glitches and all. Ballymena 3-0 up now. So Ballymena doing wonders for the Northern Irish coefficient. And we just need to get Cliftonville back in Europe every year, because then the coefficient will rise quite quickly. At the moment, we're unseeded. We're suffering for 2 years of not being in Europe at all. But we're going to try and change that. So a 3-0 defeat in the first leg, probably all but down and out in this tie. A one-man team getting a hat-trick. We told the lads we're pleased they're disappointed. So it's going to be a big turnaround next week, but we'll be back for the second leg. It's going to be an exciting one. We've had a few players make debuts. We've got that out the way now. And last year, we nearly caused a shockwave with a big second leg performance. We're going to need a massive one here. But of course, you don't want to rule it out straight away. So we will be back in a week's time to face Djurgardens IF in the second leg of the Europa League first qualifying round. A big job to do, certainly. But let's not rule out a miracle just yet. Well, a slight interlude because it might well be European action today, but we are still in the transfer window. So Ryan Burke is coming on loan as our left back. He's basically covering until we get the other guy. We'll then let Levi Ives go completely. But we have got Ryan Burke in, £160 a week, an Irish young player, and he's coming from Birmingham via Eastleigh on loan, started at St Patrick's Athletic. Not the best physically in terms of pace, and not the best defensively, but going forward, he offers a lot. He's a good crosser of the ball, got great anticipation and a good personality. 3.5-star ability, 5-star potential. Of course, won't be eligible for the second leg today, but look at that upgrade. 3.5 to 2-star, it is a massive change. It means we can loan out Aaron Donnelly again as well, and that will bring in £150 a week on the wages. So essentially, for the same price, we're getting a player twice as good. And for the league season, that might just be the thing that makes us champions. That might be the difference. In terms of the staffing, we've got a new head physio in Billy Nellins, 15 for physiotherapy at 61 years of age. He is coming in to replace Christopher McKenna, who was here when we started. His physiotherapy rating was 8, so that's why we're making those changes. It's just interesting to have a look at the transfer window as well. Lots of money going about in this league, particularly between Linfield and Larne. So Michael O'Connor, the under-21 international striker, he has gone from Linfield to Larne, who are paying him £2,000 a week. The money that club has got is ridiculous. And they missed out on Europe as well, don't forget, because of the Ballymena Cup win. But they are investing heavily. So Larne this summer, to give us a perspective of the club we finished just above, they're going to be a rival this year. They've paid 70 grand for him. They've signed a left winger Dylan Davison from Glenavon, who was a really good player for them on a free. Scott Shepherd from Edinburgh City in Scotland as a backup striker. And Barney McKeown from Newry as a backup defender. So they're really trying to bolster that squad. They've still got Fuad Souley, the key player. He's on £1,000 a week as well. They're going to be a real title contender next year. I think they might even overtake Linfield. Linfield not investing quite as much, but still getting players in quite quickly. Linfield not investing quite as much, in fact not signed anyone at all yet. Let Matthew Clark go to Coleraine, which is an upgrade for their squad, so that's good for the Northern Irish League, and Michael O'Connor going to Larne. Although it's disappointing that Linfield are weakening their squad, they're losing players to other Northern Irish sides, and if Linfield with their bigger scouting range and their professional setup can then get players in from abroad, that might well be key for this series. That's certainly what we're trying to do with our squad, so we hope the same will happen there. But Ryan Burke coming into the club, one more signing between the fixtures. Now let's skip ahead to next Thursday. Any more news in the meantime, we'll be back to inform you. We talked about the man we were trying to sign in the last episode. The Icelandic man Isaac, he has chosen to go to Plymouth for £1,000 a week. You can't be angry at him for that. He's only a fringe player there, but it's professional football. It's £1,000 a week and it's in the EFL. So you've got to understand his reasons for moving. He would have only been a backup here, by the way, and would have earned a lot less and been a part-time player. So no problem with him going there at all. But it gives us a little rethink in the middle. And I've just seen Linfield are in for Van Oberbeek. He's of course a star at Glentoran last season. And he has now joined them. So £625 a week and some of the best players in the league last year staying in the country. And that is so crucial to this Build a Nation series. So that's a good sign for Linfield. Their first signing of the summer, of course. We looked at them just a couple of days ago and got a little bit worried. But there's the first one through the door. So let's see how the window progresses. Certainly going to make the next episode interesting. We've reached match day then, back for the second leg against the Swedes in the Europa League qualifying. Aaron Donnelly has just gone to Portadown on loan, actually in the second tier of Northern Irish football. So that's going to be a big move for him, but they are a big club at that level. Toby Edson not recommended for 90 minutes, but he's probably going to get it. And of course, new signing Ryan Burke ineligible, as we tried desperately to overturn a 3-0 first leg deficit. So it's going to be the same 11 and 18, with the exception of Donnelly leaving, of course. So Ryan Curran will come onto the bench. But otherwise, it's exactly the same squad. And it's just a shame we haven't got the new left back, because what a team we've got otherwise. And I've got a feeling we're going to compete for the title this year. So the same 11, let's go and get into the second leg. And the main objective has to be to try and win on the night. It's a 4-3-3 again, the same striker up front, Edward's still captaining the team for the visitors, and we've got the same 4-2-4 playing out. Solitude looking a bit emptier considering it's 3/4 full. I'm not quite sure why there's so many empty stands. I'm sure it is probably just something to do with what can be used in this stadium, particularly in European games, but I'm not quite sure how they can claim that's 3/4 full because 2 of the stands are completely empty. But we'll wait and see anyway. We're going to ask the lads for a better performance than last time. Most of them motivated, most of them reacting. So we'll get through the tunnel interview and we'll try and get a lead on the night. But early on, it's the Swedes with a corner and we've already seen how bad we are defending set pieces. This time Austin heads away, but it's back in again. Lillstrom on the edge of the box, just wide of the far post. The keeper did not move a muscle, but luckily we managed to get away with it. We will keep an eye on Ballymena as well, because of course they're 3-0 up on aggregate, and as part of this Build a Nation series, we want to keep an eye on the progress of others. As Nathan Austin picks the ball up the target man, finds McMenamin on the left, cuts inside, has time and space to run into, but decides to shoot from the edge of box rather than looking for the through ball, and it's gone comfortably wide of the post in the end. Still 0-0 on the night, and unfortunately, an early goal would have been needed to get through in this tie. As McDermott picks it up on the right though. McCanday crosses to McMenamin and heads just over the bar. But we're knocking at the door, we're pushing, we're huffing, we're puffing. But there's no sign of a goal. As the visitors are on the counter-attack down the right-hand side. Bergvall, the hat-trick hero from the first leg, crosses. Johnson heads away. McCanday to Shotton and long downfield. And Gormley beats his man to it. He's into the box one-on-one. Joe Gormley's shot brilliantly saved. Tip behind for a corner kick. Ballymena lead on the night. They are definitely through now. But we're pushing. We're trying to get the goal here. McMenamin with the chance to deliver. To the back post. Gormley loses out in the air. And is cleared away by the Djurgardens defence. But we've got another one now. And that's a penalty. Joe Gormley brought down. Has to be a penalty kick. And he will take it himself. Missed some in qualifying last year. Has a great chance to give us one today. Gormley steps up and scores. And it is 1-0 on the night to Cliftonville. 2 more goals in the next hour without conceding. And we will be going to extra time. There's a glimmer of hope. Ballymena are storming through. They're 5-0 up on aggregate. But we've given ourselves a chance, and we are so proud of this performance. As McMenamin crosses, the corner's headed away to Shotton. On the edge of the box, brings it down. Cross is blocked, and now they can counter. Bergville brings it away. Already scored 3 in the last match. Ives is running away from him for some reason. He gets to the box, cuts it back to Edwards, and he curls it in the corner. Postage stamp stuff, and it can get nowhere near it. And as a result, the away goal means we need 5. So unfortunately, it is tie over. But let's still try and win this on the night. What a goal to finish off the tie though. You can't begrudge them a goal like that. As it stands, Ballymena are definitely through. Cardiff Met Uni definitely out. Hibernian and Motherwell are through as well. Bala are leading on the night and on aggregate despite an early red card. The goal actually came after that. So good news for Ballymena and some of the other British sides. But we're going to get the lads fired up and just try and win on the night in the second half. We've reached the hour mark, no further action, but we are just back for a highlight here, so let's get through the superstition. It's shot on bringing it out from the back. Likes to bring it forward. For anyone who doesn't know from the other series, I never pause it during a highlight because it always leads to a goal conceded. As McCande picks it up on the right, cuts inside the inside forward. Oh, it's a lovely effort. Just wide of the post, it was great footwork and nearly got himself a goal. And we're straight back with another highlight. Edsa plays a 1-2 with Levy Ives. He brings it out from left back. Inside to Edsa. Chance to come forward. Brings it over halfway. He's got lots of time on the ball here. And has again been the best player for us. And he's brought down by a man on a yellow. That should be a red card. That should be 10 men. And we're going to go positive. Let's see this free kick on the edge of the box. And then we will make the changes. As McMenamin takes it. Oh, it's in. No. What a save that is. I was sure it had beaten him. Clawed it back off the line. It's wonderful goalkeeping. And it remains 1-1 on the night. McDermott's having a poor game. He'll be replaced by Stephen Welsh. He'll be a fullback on support, which suits him a bit better. McMenamin on the left, despite that free kick, not had the best game. So McCrudden will come on as an inside forward. He scored a few goals in Europe last season. And up front, we'll replace Nathan Austin with the reliable and the trustworthy Thomas Stewart. We have to get a goal now. We've gone more positive. Let's make sure we can beat the 10 men on the night. We've got an attacking throw on the right as we're demanding a bit more from the lads. Just 10 minutes left. Galbraith switches to Ives. The left back challenged. It falls for McCrudden. Picks it up again on the left. Falls for Ives again. Crosses blocked. They're throwing bodies all over the place. Ives delivers towards McCande. Brings it down left-footed. His shot's blocked and cleared away. Ballymena are now 6-0 up on the night. That is so emphatic as Ives' cross is straight into the arms of the keeper. And it doesn't look like it's going to be our night. A really good performance though, but it's not been reflected in the scoreline. So it's a long ball forward which Shotton heads away. Falls from McCrudden who tries to start relentless pressure again. Out to McCande. On that right wing, goes wide this time. Inside to Galbraith. Overlapping is Welsh on the right wing. Chance to cross into the board. Stewart. Thomas Stewart heads in the substitute. And we do lead on the night. One substitute setting up another, and it is Cliftonville 2, Djurgardens 1. We've got a set piece to defend. It's into the back post, and they've volleyed it in. Unmarked from a set piece for the 3rd time in this tie. This is getting ridiculous now. Set piece tactics have got to be worked on. We will do a lot of training on defending set pieces. We've got an injury in the 94th minute as well. And this tie has turned sour very quickly. 2-2 on the night, 5-2 on aggregate. We're disappointed with that. Against 10 men, to concede yet another set piece is really disappointing. Congratulations to Ballymena, who will be celebrating a 2nd qualifying round tie. We're out, Stephen Welsh injured for a month, and that's a bad way to end it. Another 200 grand in the kitty, so we do go past $1 million and quite considerably as well. But I'm not sure if we've got a lot to look forward to there, because that was a really disappointing end to the tie. Michael O'Neill back in charge of Northern Ireland. He's looking at Galbraith and Gormley for the next squad. But what I really want to go and see at this point is the European coefficient. So let's get to that screen now. And here basically lies the problem we've had. Is that because the first 2 seasons before we joined here, they were in Europe the year before, they were in Europe our first season and this year, and getting to the first qualifying round has given us 1 in terms of coefficient points. But the first 2 seasons before, we've got 0.5, 0. So next season, we'll be going up to 3.5. And as it stands, unless some others really overtake us, we'll be moving up this pyramid quite quickly. because there's so many that are going down where they haven't been in Europe. So I'm kind of hoping we can actually jump like 50 to 100 places, if anything. If we can get up into the 300s, maybe we'll just about get ourselves a coefficient and a seeding for that first playoff round. And you've seen with Ballymena the difference that makes. Linfield are up there in 369. And in fact, were Ballymena perhaps not? Maybe did they not have the coefficient? Did they just get a lucky draw? Because they're not going to be above Linfield, surely. Interesting indeed. But Ballymena through, we'll keep an eye on them. But for us, we will be back for the first day of the Danske Bank Premiership season. And it'll be a double header as well, because look at the first two games. At home to Linfield, the professional side, the champions. Away to Larne, the big spenders, the second professional side. The side that ran us to the last day of the season for second. It is going to be two of the most crucial games, and they're going to be the first ones that we play. Linfield still in Europe, of course. They've got the second qualifying round of the Europa League. They're heading to Albania for that. And Ballymena, who have they got? Ballymena have got Rangers, Glasgow Rangers of Scotland. So heavy underdogs there. That's going to be an interesting tie for sure. I'll be interested to see what the score is. So if you did enjoy this episode, disappointment in Europe but expected, please do put a thumbs up on the video. I know it's very hard to judge the new signings against much stronger opposition and when they're not match fit, but let me know what you think initially of them. I was encouraged by the performance in the second leg, particularly in midfield, and we perhaps need to do a lot more work on defending set pieces. But if you haven't already and you want to stay up to date, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. The most exciting news of the season for me, we are in the Tunnocks Caramel Wafer Cup this season, and that is something I get very excited about. The chance to test ourselves against opposition from Ireland, Wales, Scotland, and some of the reserve teams from the top teams in Scotland as well. It is going to be an exciting competition for us, and I look forward to get going in that one. But we'll be back with the first two games of the league season, Linfield and Larne, and I really hope to see you there. In the meantime, please do check out our podcast channel, loads of action relating to the new EFL season, and some non-league matchday vlogs and interviews as well. There's Northern Irish content there too, including current and former players and managers from the league. So please do give it a try, and I hope to see you here next time for another big episode with Cliftonville. Thank you very much for watching. I always appreciate the support. See you next time.